Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen out there in listening land. This is KTEM on your AM radio dial, 1400. So hang in there. This is the Common Sense with Conn call-in talk show. So if you want to be heard, or you have something to say, or you have a question, whatever it may be, the phone number here is 254-773-1400. That's 773-1400. We have Kobe in our studio with us today. That's my granddaughter.
Howdy, y'all.
And she will be making comments to kind of clarify some of the cloudy things that I may have to say. So,
well, maybe not clarify, but hopefully contribute.
Well, we would like to say Cal is not here today. He is kind of under the weather, so y'all might keep Cal in your prayers and wish him a speedy recovery. So, Cal, if you're listening, well, you be careful out there and get over it, whatever it is. Okay, we have a lot of things to cover today, and as usual, I have 6 or 8 pages of notes, and I usually get through about the first sentence on the first page because really and truly, we don't want to just hear me talk. I don't have much to say. I'm not real smart or anything like that, but I just enjoy having this show and the knowledge that I gain from our listening audience and our callers and people like that. So, y'all, if you think about something you want to talk about, well, call in. It's 773-1400. Also, if you know of a sponsor that would like to sponsor this show, the number to call is 300-1885. That's 300-1885. And that'll hook you up to my wife, and she'll get your information and tell you how to become a sponsor. We have, might just say that y'all have out there in listening land, you have made this show very, very enjoyable because you call in and you share your thoughts with us, and we have good discussions on just good common sense discussions. I'm the first to admit that I am not a PhD holding super smart executive, but we have one here in the studio, and so if something goes wrong, his name is Wes, and we're going to blame it on him,
it's
whatever
all his
it is.
Fault.
So, if Wes didn't do it, Kobe did.
Okay.
So between the two of us,
right.
we'll own up to it, Conn, for you.
There you go. So it can't be my fault today. So, okay, what is on your mind? For those of you who watch the news like Fox News or CNN News or something, I hope you're watching Fox News because that's where the truth seems to come from. So much of news media today it's their opinion, and it's not necessarily truth. What do you expect to happen to a country that has traded truth for political correctness? Are we drowning in a sea of political correctness? I think we are. I think that truth is the basis for everything good that happens. So when you replace truth with political correctness, which may be a lie, in some cases probably is a lie, mercy sakes alive, where are we going? You know, what's the end result of that in a society of any kind? So I think that we need to always question what we hear. And did we hear that because it's politically correct or because it's true?
Well, and not just truth, but reality.
Yes.
You know, so we have the the whole transgender issue. Just an example. It's no longer politically correct to use pronouns such as he or she. or specifically, you should make room for the transgender, or understand that that person may not identify as a he or a she, whatever. Not only is that ignoring truth, it's ignoring reality. If you can choose the reality of what gender you are and then force everyone around you to change the way they speak and the way they think so that your feelings aren't hurt, we're ignoring truth, and we're creating our own realities. We're creating this delusional society.
Well, that's absolutely correct. And how is this delusional society created? Is it done overnight with one stroke of the pen? Or does it happen incrementally, slowly, but it works? Let me give you an example. How many times here lately have you heard someone refer to their children as siblings? They never say boys and girls. They never say men and women. They never say my brothers and sisters. No, it's their siblings. What does that indicate? It's non-gender.
Gender neutrality.
Who invented that term? Was it the transgender LGBT FREAKS group, or what is it? Who invented that term? I don't know, but maybe it's been around 1,000 years, but I never heard that term until just a few years ago, and now you hear it a lot. So how does that affect our society? If you pretty much remove the term boys and girls, men and women, he and she, then what do you come up with? You come up with a non-gender
neutral
I guess.
Statement.
You might as well just call your kids, well, all those it's at home. Well, why don't we refer to them for what they are? They're boys and girls that we hope will grow up to be men and women. But I guess that's an illegal term, too.
Well, it sure complicates things, doesn't it?
Well, it does.
You can't just have a simple conversation anymore. It's, well, what can I say that is not going to offend someone?
Well, exactly.
How can I communicate this really simple idea without throwing somebody into a fit?
And how many of us are desperately looking for a way to be hurt? How many of us walk around with a chip on our shoulder called victim, and we're just hoping and praying that somebody will knock that chip off our shoulder? How many victims are there nowadays? It used to. Now, I'm a little bit different because I'll go back, into the dark ages. But I came from a generation where we had the work ethic. We had the manly effort. We had ethic. We had the ladies' ethic. Women wanted to be a lady. Men wanted to be men. And now it's I guess everybody wants to be an it. I'm not sure, but I'm really concerned about these trends that seem to be taking over our society and ruling our thought processes.
Well, it seems to me your generation, there was really an emphasis on self-sufficiency, on self-respect, on knowing who you were and sticking to that.
Right.
And that doesn't really exist anymore. There isn't... The focus, I guess, more so is on what other people think of you and how you can be like everyone else and how you can be, up with the current trends. And I understand, that kind of mindset has always existed, but we don't really have a balance in our society anymore of people who are sure of themselves.
Well, and what rules our thinking? Is it individuality, or is it the sheep syndrome? We see some young lady with a bone in her ear or in her nose or a stainless steel ring in her bottom lip, and then we all want to put a ring on our bottom lip. Why? Is it comfortable? Is it attractive? What is the reason for doing that? It's because somebody else did it. So are we individuals or are we sheep? Mm-hmm. Have we turned our society into a group of sheep? that just does what everybody else does, and you never question why did they do that. You just do it because of example.
Right.
It's just amazing what I see happening in our society, and maybe I'm the only one that sees it. I don't know if I am or not, but but it's kind of a little bit disturbing to me. And maybe I am too observant, but I've mentioned before in the highway patrol we used to years and years ago, there was here's a guy on the telephone named Rick. I think I know him. He's from Salado, and he's going to come on here and tell me how to solve all these problems. Rick, I know you're out there. Go ahead on.
Well, we had an old saying in the Army. I guess I was an old Army guy. And it was, drop the bomb, we'll end the confusion.
Yeah.
Or, I joined during the Vietnam era, but I didn't go to Vietnam, but I sure did go to Desert Storm, though. So my time in service was I covered from Vietnam to Desert Storm. But that was pretty much it. That's been almost 20 years ago. I can't believe it. But anyway, one of the, to solve the problems of society is they need to get busy. They got too much time on their hands. A lot of times, I mean, it's like, to dwell on a lot of things, I guarantee you, my mom, she's still alive, bless her heart. She's a Depression era baby. And they had to work. I mean, constantly. I mean, all they had was the radio. And this is why I listen to the radio so much, is because I like the radio. And I'm hooked on AM. I like AM radio. It's because it, I guess our Führer, the fearless leader of the radio, is the Rush Meister.
Yeah.
We're mind-numb robots out here listening to him every day.
But Rick, having said that, I know some people that just hate Rush Limbaugh.
Oh, no doubt.
Well, I figured out why they hate him.
Why do they hate him?
Because Rush Limbaugh's brain is running about 100 miles an hour.
All the time. That's mine.
And they can't keep up with him. So
my drug of choice right now is a coffee. After 20 years of drinking coffee in the ain't released me yet Army, I just continued to have it.
Well, you listen. I listen to Rush all the time, and Hannity and several of them. If they're making sense, I like to listen to them, and sometimes I learn.
I don't take everything hook, line, and sinker. But in the arena of ideas, it's the arena of ideas. Okay, a lot of people don't get it.
But if Rick, if your mind is closed, where you will not consider what Rush is saying, you will not consider whether it's true or false or maybe made it up. But if you will just keep your mind open enough to consider what he's saying, I think you're going to find that he's a dadgum genius of some kind, because he's way out there ahead of the curve all the time. And
well, I'm going to tell you, the thing that you've got going for you is that we can turn the radio on and listen to you while we're doing stuff. We don't have to sit there and watch. I can be doing things and listening to you and it's your granddaughter, right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
And she's going, of course, I guess she's in the middle school, or
Oh, no, I'm 24.
24. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
you're running. Okay, so you're out here in society doing a day-to-day grind. You're doing the thing.
Yes, sir.
She just graduated A&M University.
Okay, well, you're right in the middle of horn country, right? No, I guess A&M is good here. They've got the over there at the VA. They have Scott and White. They have the A&M School of Medicine there. They have, and then they have the A&M graduate school over in Killeen.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people can go to A&M and not have to go all the way to College Station.
But Rick,
That's a good thing.
A sad commentary is A&M used to be thought of as the most conservative university in this area.
I know.
And I keep hearing stories about how it's not conservative anymore, and I'm sure Kobe can fill you in on that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's definitely, still preferable to pretty much any other university
you've
around,
got,
but, it's definitely changed a bit in the past few years.
Do you remember Bill Gates?
Yes.
No, was it Bob Gates? It was the DOD chief.
Robert.
He was the Robert. There you go. Robert Gates. Is that him?
I think so.
Yeah. He was an alumni. He's an alumni from there.
Yes.
Well,
and he served 2 presidents.
Take note of how many military officers are graduates of A&M.
Well, yeah, they're it's almost like going to an academy.
Yeah, it's but I keep saying this.
You won't get that
changed
from the other schools.
No,
mostly.
You sure won't.
Well, actually, George S. Patton is quoted as saying, "Give me an army of West Point graduates and I'll win a battle. Give me a handful of Texas Aggies and I'll win a war."
There you go.
I know.
That's quoting George S. Patton.
And most of them come out of there with what, engineering degrees?
Yeah. A&M has really good engineering programs.
Well, and the problem, a lot of times I used to talk to a lot of people from UT that go there. Their alumni are mostly, they're not all they don't all graduate from the University of Texas and teach and professor there, okay? But a lot of the alumni at A&M are the professors and the teachers that there. Is that, am I right or wrong? Am I saying, am I correct? Do you
mean a lot of Aggies graduate and then return to teach at A&M?
Correct. That's my question.
Yeah, I mean, there are a decent amount that return to teach.
Well, this is
they
true.
overlooked a lot of things that were going on, especially when they were building those bonfires.
Well, this is true, though, of a lot of universities, and I might ask you, do you remember the name? Dang, I done forgot it now, but she was a member of the Sudanese Liberation Army.
Oh, yeah. Her dad was Big Shot. I mean, he's, I know what you mean.
She went to prison. She went to prison because she supplied the gun that killed the federal judge. When she graduated,
that's from. No, it's on her. Oh, you're talking about
Angela Davis,
Chicago guy. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Angela Davis.
Bernadine Dorn.
Yeah.
Her?
No. She helped bomb police stations.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there was another one out there in California land.
Yeah, another hero of the left. But Angela Davis graduated, got out of prison with a college degree.
Was it Angela Davis?
Angela Davis, yeah.
She was complicit in that?
Well, yeah. She was part of the Sudanese Liberation Army, and she supplied the gun that killed the federal judge in California.
Ooh.
She went to federal prison and got a degree in something. When she graduated college and got out of prison, she couldn't go to work anywhere. I mean, I wouldn't want to hire her, and you wouldn't either. So the University of Berkeley gave her a job as a professor. So now, for the last 16 years, she's been teaching our 20-year-olds or whoever all about life. Well, look at the department head of journalism at the University of Texas. According to Lynn Woolley on the Lynn Woolley Talk Show, this guy is a card-carrying registered communist, and he teaches journalism students at the University of Texas. Well, what do you expect to come out of the news media if you've got the students at the University of Texas studying under a registered, genuine, bona fide communist? Well, what?
Well, that's the same thing with up in Chicagoland. That's up there with Bernadine Dorn's husband. Was it Bill Ayers?
Yeah.
And I mean, these guys were tearing up. I mean, they were blowing up. I mean, and gosh, it was like
Rick.
I remember all of it.
Hold the phone, Rick. You're fixing to violate political correctness because Bernadine Dorn and Bill Ayers are close friends and confidants.
I'm sorry, but I know their past and I know their history.
Well,
you can't take that away from them. That you can cover it up as much as you can.
Well, Barack Obama and them are close as they can be. So
there's some old soldiers and sailors and Marines out there, and old FBI agents that were on their trail for a long time.
Well,
but it's kind of funny that she eluded them for 20 years.
But when you think about it, if someone constantly hangs around drug dealers, drug pushers, drug addicts, can you assume that he probably is a drug addict? If Barack Obama was around Bill Ayers, Bernadine Dorn, those kind of people, my grandma Conn used to say, Conn, birds of a feather flock together. Now, that's an old saying that's outdated nowadays, but let's apply it to Barack Obama.
And then they talk something about like ducks, right?
Rick,
act like a duck.
I appreciate your phone call.
Thank you.
Don't lose this phone number.
Yeah, y'all give us a call or check us out on Facebook. Charles Ott is actually watching us on Facebook Live. Thanks for the like.
Who is?
Charles Ott.
Oh, good. Maybe he's learning a little something. I don't know. Can't tell, but sometimes it's kind of hard to learn very much when an old dumb country boy raised down here in the mesquite brush in amongst the prickly pears and rattlesnakes. But I've done a lot of things in life, and I've had a real good time. I've met some really, really fine people. I've met some really smart people. And I can remember things that really smart people have said to me in my past life. And I'm very, very thankful of sometimes just a very short sentence that somebody says that I have applied all of my life. For example, J.D. Moody once said, Conn, you're better off with part of something than all of nothing. We were in a land deal together, and at any rate, he got some, and I got not as much as he did, but he said, don't forget, you're better off with part of something than all of nothing. And a lot of people, they can't comprehend that statement. Another statement a man made once that I've used all of my life, he said, Conn, what's the hardest thing in the world to find? This was Dr. A.K. Cutler in College Station, Texas. I said, I don't know. Is it gold or diamonds? He said, no. Unbiased advice. Unbiased advice is the hardest thing in the world to find. And I have thought about that a jillion times, and how true that is. How true is it when you're listening to Hillary Clinton describe the Democrat Party? Is her advice just a little bit biased, or is it a whole lot biased? And should we consider what she says in regard to that? I think we got another caller wanting to talk about something, and I'm sure he'll bring some to the conversation.
We need to take a quick break.
Okay. All right. Get back to some of the notes I made here. It's kind of unusual for me to be able to get back to my notes.
We need to take a break.
Oh, okay. They're telling me that we got to take a break and try to pay a few bills around here. There's some folks that sponsored the show, and we need to talk about them because they are really, really some good people. And I think that my advice might be a little bit biased in regard to my sponsors. So take that with a grain of salt. And here we go. Okay, folks, here we are. Back after the break. We still got an awful lot to talk about. One thing I want to talk about, the number here to call in if you want to talk about something is 254-773-1400. That's 773-1400. You got something on your mind? Pick up that phone and call us, and we'll talk with you. There's all kinds of things to talk about. One thing I heard about on the Las Vegas shooting in Nevada, the FBI has 28,000 hours of video regarding that shooting in Las Vegas. But they have decided that they cannot release any of that information to the public until November of 2018. Tell me why. Why are they going to keep that a secret until November of 2018?
Well, let's find out what AC has to say about that. He's calling from Belton.
Okay. AC, go ahead on.
Good afternoon, Conn. I'm enjoying your show.
Good.
I have no knowledge about the subject matter you're talking about.
Well, there's so many better things to talk about, I guess, than what's happening in Las Vegas.
A military tech sergeant taught me when I was 17. Young man, if the answer is I don't know, that's what I want to hear.
There you go.
I paid attention. I did want to call in and tell you that we're right in the process of helping Nancy move the headquarters of the Republican Party of Bell County from Troy, Texas to downtown Belton.
Uh-oh. Okay.
It's going to be really convenient for the folks. It's exactly 2 blocks north of the courthouse. It's on the southwest corner of Northeast Street and East 2nd Avenue in a complex here.
Well, let me inject here just a minute. The Bell County Republican Party, Nancy Boston is the chairman and has been for a long, long time. And she has done just an excellent job with the Republican Party in Bell County. And I think that we all need to, well, it's no secret who I tend to side with between Republicans and Democrats. So I guess I don't need to go into that. But I think all of us need to listen and give some serious consideration to whose side we're on. If you look at where the Democrat Party has taken us under Barack Obama, do you want to be part of that? I'm not. I have no desire to be part of that.
I go back further than that. I go back even past the Great Society. But anyhow, we've got some good folks here that are helping. I'm doing my small part in my advanced years, but we have Jeffrey Ware, who is furnishing a vehicle and helping. Commissioner Bill Schuman, Commissioner Precinct 3, he's always available to help, always willing to pitch in, no matter what.
Yeah, and he's going to be on this show on January the 6th, AC.
Well, good.
So I want to tune in.
Such a great guy, whether it's Republican women organizations or Tea Party or the Bell County Republican Party. He's always there to help. But I want to let your listening audience know that the new headquarters is much more convenient. Plenty of parking here, right in downtown Belton, near everything. You know, barbecue places, whatever. Theater. Even got a theater now.
Oh my goodness.
The Beltonian right there?
Yes. Yes, they're playing some of the oldies but goodies. A value movie, you know.
Yeah, that's a cute little place.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, y'all are doing a good job. You got lots of good help down there. I'm looking forward to hearing Cal more, though. I sure enjoy you and Cal. Y'all make a good team.
Well, he's kind of laid up this Saturday, and we're looking forward to hoping that he gets over it and comes on back. He hadn't called in yet, so Cal, if you're out there listening, we're talking about you.
And if there's anybody else that's got a truck or trailer that wants to help, we're down here at the corner right now. That's East 2nd Avenue and Northeast Street, right here on the corner, southwest corner.
Okay, that's
a little sweet here.
Well, we appreciate that update on the location there, AC. And like I say, I can't say enough good things about the Republican Party in Bell County. And let me say that not every county has the kind of leadership that we have here in Bell County. So, in the upcoming elections in 2018 and 2020, we better be paying attention, folks.
I think so. You know, it's easy to be a good leader. Just do the right things for the right reasons. Everything else will fall out properly. Keep up the good work, Conn. I really appreciate your show.
Well, we appreciate your call, AC. You be careful out there and give Nancy our best. Talking about Democrats and Republicans, and let me preface it by saying I was born and raised a Democrat. All my kinfolks were Democrats.
Really?
My daddy called armadillos Hoover hogs till the day he died, I guess. He never got over Herbert Hoover, and a lot of older people didn't. But anyway, that's the environment I was raised in. But then after I got grown and was able to kind of pay attention to what's going on, I became a Republican. And there's some good Democrats out there, but I just wonder how you can open-mindedly look at the position of the Democrat Party. Tell me that you are a Democrat and a Christian and you love this country all at the same time. I don't know how you do that, but enough said about that. I'm not here to criticize Democrats, but I'm just saying let's look at these things with an open mind, folks, and let's consider who's truthful and who's not. Look at who benefits. Look at who sold out part of our country for financial gain. When you sell uranium to our enemies for financial gain, what do you call that? We used to call that all kind of bad things. We used to put people in jail for things that they have done recently. Like when you pull the troops out of Iraq and leave all of the equipment as a donation to ISIS. Is that aiding and abetting the enemy? Is that what you call that?
Sounds a little shady to me.
I'm kind of old-fashioned here, but, if somebody said they wanted to kill me, but their gun was unloaded, would I give them ammunition to put in their gun to shoot me with? No, I don't think I want to do that. Then why did we leave all the equipment in Iraq to supply ISIS? Turn your TV on and, look at the news, and when you see ISIS going down the road in Iraq, what are they driving? That's an Abrams tank. It's flying the ISIS flag. Where'd they get that tank? Where'd they get that Hummer? Where'd they get all that equipment? Barack Obama gave it to them. Now, their excuse was, it's too expensive to bring it home. Well, now, wait just a minute. It wasn't too expensive to take it over there. What's the difference? The ship that hauled that stuff to Iraq was sitting right there. They could haul that stuff back. But oh no, he decided to just give it to ISIS, to our enemies. Look at Obama's decision with Eric Holder to give 2,500 guns to the drug cartel in Old Mexico. Is the drug cartel our allies, or are they our enemies?
Well, I don't think they're very friendly.
No, and why do we want to give 2,500 guns to the drug cartel in Old Mexico?
But we better take them away from all of the citizens of the U.S.
Yeah, they want to. This is so crazy. It is so insane. It would be comical if it wasn't so dadgum serious. But that's what they did. And like I say, that's called aiding and abetting the enemy. At least it used to be. They used to call that treason, but I guess they don't anymore. Well, so much for all that, folks. But if y'all have some thoughts along that line, well, give us a call. You can straighten me out, and if I'm wrong, I'll listen to what you got to say. You're going to have to show me where I'm wrong, but why did we leave equipment in Iraq? Why did we give guns to the drug cartel? Why do all these things happen? Why did Barack Obama pass so many regulations on businesses in the United States? Why do all that? Why try to cripple business in the United States? Is that supposed to help businesses make more money, help them hire more people, help them do better? No. He did more to stifle business in America than any president in my lifetime. But now, thanks to Donald Trump, he has reversed a lot of those regulations. And look at business. Business is taking off. Look at the stock market. Look at the unemployment rate. Look at all of the indicators of our economy. GDP has gone up 3% for the last 2 quarters, and probably for the fourth quarter. Now, that never happened during Obama administration. So you can cuss Donald Trump all you want to, but look at the results of what he's done.
You know, it was interesting to me that this Christmas season, since Donald Trump has been in office, and this might just totally be in my mind, but I felt like I saw more nativities and people were a lot more willing to say Merry Christmas, and I feel like I noticed a lot less controversy about the Christianity of Christmas than in years past. That might totally be in my mind.
No, it's true.
But I felt, much more comfortable and able to kind of express my beliefs and tell everybody Merry Christmas without there being any, kind of this stream in the media about how awful that was.
What's Aaron Tippett's song about his daddy? If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
That's true.
Well, if we didn't stand up to support nativity scenes and Christianity and things, then what happens? It goes away. So Donald Trump is standing up to defend Christianity, to defend Merry Christmas, things like that. How many of us, though, don't recognize or don't understand what he's doing? How many of us are not smart enough to understand that when you stop saying Merry Christmas, when you stop having nativity scenes, things like that, do we not understand what they're doing to Christianity? Don't we understand that there's 2 forces in this world and in this country? There is Satan and there's God. Now, whose side are you on? There's no doubt about whose side I'm on. Now, some politician once, not too long ago, made the statement, we all belong to the government. Well,
that's a scary thought.
Yeah, but a politician said that, some representative said we all belong to the government. Well, my reaction is, you think that if you want to, sonny boy, but I don't belong to the government. I belong to God. Me and my family, we know who we belong to, and I'm going to follow those Christian principles as much as I possibly can. But to those who think that we all belong to the government, you need to decide whose side you're on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all go ahead and think about that. We're going to take a 2-minute break.
Okay, folks, here we are back on this call-in talk show. It's called Common Sense with Conn. Now, if you got something to say, just pick up that phone and call 773-1400, and we'll talk to you. In the meantime, old Lee has done got on that telephone and called us, and we're going to see what Lee got to say. Go ahead on, Lee.
Hey, Conn, I got a question. I just trying to get some information. Do you remember when Flynn got indicted? And 3 days afterwards, a judge recused himself from the Flynn investigation or the Russian investigation. You remember that?
I don't, but I'm going to take your word for it that it happened. But
okay, a judge recused himself, the one that issued the warrant for Flynn.
Oh, okay.
You know, to be indicted. You remember that?
Well, he didn't want to be any part of that.
Right,
crash.
and I'm wondering, that judge, did he have any involvement? Because I haven't heard anything. You know, he wouldn't give a reason why he recused himself. But what I'm wondering, did he have an involvement in that dossier? Did he approve it? You know, is that why he recused himself? Because now he may know that the dossier was fake. And I'm just wondering, you know, I'm just not trying to create a conspiracy theory. I'm just wondering what happened to him.
Well, you know, nobody wants to say conspiracy theory. Everybody wants to avoid that word. And I agree that a lot of people go overboard on the conspiracy idea. But I would ask the question: how can we have all of these things going on that are helping to destroy America and our freedom? How can all this be going on without somebody being behind it? Is it George Soros? Is it a fellow named Satan? I don't know. But there's so many things happening in the Democrat Party, in our political world. How can there not be a conspiracy of some kind involved in this?
Well, I'm convinced. I'm like Nunes. I'm convinced, and Jim Jordan, that, there was, that dossier was the basis for getting that FISA warrant so they could spy on Americans. There's no question about that. That's why the who is at the Justice Department is not giving over that information, nor the FBI. Because once that happens, then it's a whole different ballgame. And here's what I think, because once that happens, what's going to end up happening is Mueller is going to have to drop the investigation because it's all based on the fruit of the poisonous tree. The whole investigation was created by a scam. So Mueller has to go. So what they're trying to do is get as much bad information on Trump as they can before they can reveal the dossier and reveal this truth. What do you think?
Well, as I look at that, you have two schools of thought. One is it was all accidental. It just happened. But the other school of thought is there's a lot of planning went into this. Somebody planned to do the dossier thing. Somebody paid for it. Somebody got Mr. Steele, the guy from England, to participate in that. Look at all of these people that are involved. Look at the Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton crime foundation, whatever you want to call it. Look at all the money that the Clintons have accumulated. Look at how much they got from selling or helping to sell uranium to the Russians. Is all this accidental? Did it just happen? Fall out of the sky and hit us on the head? Or was there a lot of planning went into this? I believe in conspiracies. All a conspiracy is when two or more people plan to do something that would be criminal. And
I believe it's all conspiracy. I think it's, I believe that several people got together. They already got the evidence on that. The FBI just refuses to turn it over. I hope that they are able to do that come January 3rd. And so, because they were subpoenaed.
I've got another question. Why is it that Hillary is exempt from the law? Is she exempt? Is she above everyone else in the United States of America? Is she really exempt, or has she bought off or scared off the people in power? Jeff Sessions, for example, why doesn't he pursue the server investigation, all the things involved around Hillary Clinton and the Democrat Party? Are they exempt from the law? Are they above the law? Or has she, where does her power come from? How much power does she have, and where'd she get it? The FBI used to, when they were investigating criminal activity, they said follow the money. Why don't we follow the money in regard to Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton? How did they accumulate so many hundreds of millions of dollars? And why is it that people in power like Jeff Sessions, etc., they will not pursue anything that involves Hillary and Bill Clinton? Why is that?
You just asked about 10 questions. And one of the things is a lot of people are asking those questions. The Democrats don't care about those questions. They don't want to know the answer to those questions.
Exactly.
They don't care. All they care about is that they have some relevance in this administration of some sort and to bring it down. And that's what I think. And basically, Conn, that's what I believe is going on.
Well, and I'll ask you the question like I ask so often. how can you tell me that you're a patriotic, freedom-loving Christian American and a Democrat at the same time? How do you do that?
Well, you got to be pretty doggone conservative, I'll tell you that.
You gotta,
if you're going to be a patriotic American and be a Democrat, you better be a conservative Democrat.
Something, but it's a fair question, I think. Now,
it is.
Some people might think that I'm a little bit biased, and I guess I will admit that I am. But I'm also open-minded when I ask the question. If you can give me a real good answer, explanation for that, well, tell me what it is. Right now, I think we're fixing to come to another break.
All right. Well, it was nice talking to you.
Hey, don't lose the phone number. You call back in.
Okay. I appreciate it.
We need more of those kind of conversations, folks. We need to talk about this whole political thing we have here in the United States of America, but we need to question with an open mind. I had some kinfolks down visiting last week, and I was so amazed at how closed-minded my kinfolks were. When you mentioned Donald Trump, I mean, she got mad as a hornet. She was, if she'd had a gun, she'd have shot him, I think. Then you mentioned Barack Obama, and I believe that lady thinks that Barack Obama sits on the right-hand side of God. I mean, he couldn't do anything wrong, and Donald Trump can't do anything right. Okay, good.